Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Justin here, and today we're going to take a look at our latest PSA grading submission. These cards have actually already been sent, but I did some quick video of the cards before they went out, and I'll talk about them briefly now as we await the results. And yes, I know PSA is not popular right now, and trust me, I am not a PSA fanboy by any means. However, we do a large portion of our business in PSA slabs because that's what the data is telling us sells the best. So until the market changes and the data tells us not to buy, sell, or submit with PSA, we'll just keep doing what is best for our business as vendors and dealers. And just as a note, with the exception of the printing plates, every card in this video will cost us $24.55 to grade due to the value bulk offering from PSA, and that does include shipping to and from PSA. So $24.55 total to send and receive our grades. We'll probably entertain some offers from PSA at the PSA vault, but I'll tell you right now, we will not be accepting any offer on a card that is not a 10. We've all seen how that can go, if you know, you know. Okay, let's jump into the cards. We're going to take a look at the first 7 cards as a single lot. A couple months ago, we bought a collector's tin at a show that contained 10 sealed, like individually sealed, kind of like in a candy wrapper, Michael Jordan metal cards in them. 5 of the cards were part of an Avon collector's edition from 1998. I don't really know much about the set. I'm not sure if it's the Avon Makeup Company or some other Avon. And the other 5 cards were part of an Upper Deck retail set from 1996. Now, these cards were all pretty low population, probably due to the novelty of these being in metal tins. However, because they are low pop, that means there's some potential for gaining quite a bit of value with grading. Let's start with the raw cards themselves. We paid $10 for all 10 cards, so $1 each. And if we sold them raw at our show, we were pretty sure we can get about $5 to $10 each. So we would already be doing pretty good ROI wise, but we try to work within the $30 to $100 range for most of our cards. But there are some graded copies in the PSA 8s and 9s that have sold for over $100 each. So our thought process was, if we can grade 7 of these and get mostly 8s, 7s with an outside shot at a couple 9s, then we're very confident that we can cover the cost to buy and grade these cards. At the very minimum, we're confident that we can sell these Jordan slabs of any grade, even a 1, 2, 3, whatever, for a minimum of 15 to 30 bucks. So what this means is that basically our maximum risk is about $35. And we get that number from $25 to grade each card, minus $20 each of selling the cards at a minimum. And then we've got 7 cards. So at the very worst, we think we can sell 7 cards for 20 bucks each. And we're really going to only ever be out $35. But our maximum reward is much, much higher, potentially in the hundreds of dollars. We held back the 3 worst cards, so we don't want to pay for the grading for the ones that we know probably won't get an 8 at least, and we'll just sell those for a couple bucks at the next show. And the ones that we sent, I do truly believe could come back as 8s or even 9s. There have been 0 PSA 10s ever graded for the Avon set, so I'm not even going to consider those as an option. And for the 1996 set, those don't do as well, so those were the 2, we sent in 2 from that set, and we held back 3 from that set. Okay, moving on to the rest of the submission, I have a few PC cards that I'll just show you just for fun, but I'm not worried about the cost or the value of them. I'm an Ultraviolet All-Stars super fan, and I'm sending in a Bryce Harper yellow printing plate auto from 2024. This is my first Harper auto, so I'm just glad to have it. I'm also sending in a Dylan Cruz yellow printing plate auto from 2025. These will both just get the authentic label and be slabbed. No grades, no auto grades. They're just printing plates, so it's not necessary, and I'm probably not selling them, so I just want them in a slab so they don't turn out in any worse condition in the future. Okay, now moving on to actual cards. Another Ultraviolet for my PC. There's going to be a few of these, by the way, so bear with me. Big Poppy, David Ortiz on the Ultraviolet, black refractor, numbered out of 10. There is 1 PSA 10 out there, and 1 PSA 8. I don't think my copy will get a 10 because I do think it's a little too off-center. Let me know if you agree with me in the comments. But I do hope that it comes back at least a 9. And, if the PSA gods are nice to me, I certainly won't complain. I'll be disappointed if I get an 8 or lower. This card, the next one, and a George Brett that you'll see shortly could result in PSA making me pony up for increased insurance fees. And I do hope to see that email, but I won't talk about how I'll feel about having to pay the upcharge. Ellie De La Cruz, Impact Players, Mini Diamond Rookie Auto out of Bowman's Best. I picked this up at the National last summer, and I've really just been sitting on it trying to decide if I want to grade it or not. I've never graded a die cut card because I've heard it's such a pain in the butt to get a 10, but I'm a Reds fan and I have faith that Ellie can develop as he gets some more experience, so I figured I'd send it. There's 25 copies of this card. It's numbered out of 25. There are currently 2 10s, 2 9s, and 1 8 out there, so wish me luck on getting the 10. This is one of the cards that they'll probably charge me for if I do get the 10. And before we continue, let me just say thanks for clicking on the video. We're planning to do a lot more video content outside of our show schedule and show promotion that we've been doing, and we really appreciate hanging out. Give us some feedback in the comments so we can improve these videos, and if you want to see more, please hit the subscribe button. Next up, Brock Bowers Uptown. Not a low population card by any means. I want to say there's like 380 10s and like another 390 9s. I paid more than it is currently worth raw, so definitely should send it in for grading at that point. If I sell it raw, I'm taking a loss, but if it comes back a good grade, then I can, get out of the hole with it essentially. There was some smudging on it when I bought it, but I was able to just wipe that off with the microfiber, so that was nice. And then outside of that, it really looks pretty nice. I've never sent in an Uptown, Downtown, or any card like that, so this will be fun to see how it comes back. 10s are doing about $350 right now, so that would be ideal to get back. With me being about 180 into it and we're all selling for 140, and I wouldn't be upset with a 9, but I do hope I get the 10. Next up, another Ultraviolet Auto for the PC. This JDOM was actually a redemption replacement for a Cam Smith auto that I submitted, and it was just a base Cam Smith auto, and it was taking forever to get there, and I was just watching the price of his autos and redemptions go down as I was waiting. So as soon as I hit that 8-week mark, I emailed Topps, just let them know, hey, I just want to get something. I know that I can't pick and choose my redemption, but just FYI, I'm a huge Ultraviolet fan, so if you got something back there to replace it with, let me know. Well, they hooked me up, so I'm really happy with that. The JDOM is numbered out of 99. These 2024 Ultraviolets are really hard grades. Out of the 99 autos for this card, only 10 are PSA 10s. Based on what I'm into the Cam Smith redemption, I do need to get the 10 to make it worth it financially, but I don't know if I'm planning on selling it, so it doesn't matter. I do think this card can get a 10, though. It is super clean, especially compared to the other 10s and 9s that I've seen. Next up is another UV, this time from 2023, and I actually bought this Juan Soto on eBay, and I was really just shocked at how clean it was when it arrived. The raws for this card do like $60 to $70, and probably only about $130 for a 10. There are no recent sales on 9s, so hopefully I can make it break even if I do get the 9, but I really do think I can get a 10 on this. This one's not for the PC because I have enough Juan Soto UV cards already and autos, so it'll be for sale eventually, so hopefully we get that 10 and can make somebody happy with it. Next up, I have a card that has never been graded before. That's pretty cool. Reed Shepard rookie on the Atomic Initials purple out of 75. And this is from 2024 Obsidian Basketball. I'm a pretty big Rockets fan, so I picked this up at a show, and I want to say I paid like 20 bucks for it. I guess I get to name the price when it comes back, so I don't have a lot else to say on this one. But I'll probably hold it at least until the playoffs and see how Reed does. Next, I've got a Rome Odunze Red Hyper out of 140. I don't rip a ton of cards anymore, let alone football, which I hardly ever do. But I try to rip some when I'm with my brother's family because they seem to enjoy it and it's something we can all do together. This came out of a blaster and it looked really clean, so I thought, why not? 3 PSA 10s exist, but none have been sold online that I can find, so I'm not really sure on the price. I'm guessing in the $50 to $70 range, which is kind of a sweet spot for us. A 9 has sold for $23, so not a lot of downside on this one, which is nice. Next is the last Ultraviolet that I'll make you look at on this submission, and it's a doozy. I really like this one. It's the 2024 George Brett Red Refractor Auto out of 5. I know what I paid for this card, but my sale actually doesn't show up on Card Ladder, which is interesting. I think Card Ladder thinks it's worth quite a bit more than it really is. So I'm interested to know what PSA will do with it. I could see them trying to upcharge me for it, regardless of it being a 10 or a 9. If they give me a 9 and tried to upcharge me, I'm going to fight them on it, honestly, because, well, I have the receipt. I did buy it online. I do hope I get the 10, though, and I will be, well, I won't say happy, but I will accept the increased insurance fee if I do get the 10. We'll just leave it at that on this one. It's a really cool card. Just really excited to get it in a slab. This next card is a little bit of an experiment, not too much risk. I found a clean card in a dollar box. Shea Gilgeous-Alexander on the Shining Stars insert. This one's an Emerald parallel, not numbered. The card itself, it's a dollar card all day long. But a 10 recently sold for 40 bucks. I'm pretty confident I can sell a 9 for 30. So as long as it doesn't come back an 8 or lower, it's a win. These superstar players and their first, second, and third years on these somewhat oddball rare inserts. I think these are good low value cards to grade. So hoping this one comes back a 10. Obviously, I won't be super upset if it comes back a 9. And then these next two cards that I'm showing you, they're the last of the cards from my personal submission. Kind of a cool story. I drove a couple hours to a family Christmas event in a super small town and found a quote unquote card shop. It's basically a comic shop and an electronic shop, but the guy had an unmarked box of cards with all kinds of weird stuff in it. I mean, X-Files cards, Simpsons cards, Dragon Ball Z stuff, killer bunnies from outer space. I don't know, but also he had some 2000s, early 2000s sports stuff. So I basically just picked up the whole box and I was like, hey man, I've got 17 bucks in my wallet. Would you want to sell me the rest of your cards? And he was happy to do so. He said he doesn't do cards anymore. So took that box home. I basically comped out all the raw cards, including the oddballs like the X-Files and the Simpsons and stuff. And it was like 120 bucks. So it was a fun little pickup to go and look through all that stuff. In that lot, though, there were some cool football cards, and I'm going to go ahead and grade 2 of them. The first one is a 2006 Topps Chrome red refractor of Isaac Bruce, and then Larry Johnson on the Kansas City Chiefs color match. Both of these red refractors are numbered out of 249. I think they can 10. They've been sitting in like a sealed Topps one-touch case for almost 20 years now. Not a lot of sales on them, obviously. Not really sure where to price them, no matter what grade they get, but I'll be interested to see if either one of these does get the 10. Okay, we're wrapping up this submission with some of my business partner Patrick's cards. First up, a super clean copy of a 1981 Topps Larry Bird. I have no idea what he paid for these cards, so I just looked up the raw prices for comparison. Now, I don't think this copy will 10, of course, and it's only because there are only 69 10s out there. But just for the fun of it, a 10 recently sold for like over $19,000, so good luck, buddy. And I'm not saying that it won't 10 because it's a bad copy. It's actually a really clean copy. I don't want to speculate on this grade because I have never sent in cards for grading that were older than like 2016, essentially. But I would like to think that this one has a shot at a 9. I mean, it's really nice. If I had to guess, though, just based on population control and things like that, I bet it comes back a 7 or an 8. It's too clean to come back anything less than a 7. I'll be really disappointed for Patrick if it comes back less than a 7. I do hope he gets the 9, though. I think he can. Next, he has an Elena Del Donnie. Sorry if I butchered that, on the WNBA Prism. I looked this card over, and it's super clean. Not an incredibly valuable card raw, but there are no PSA 10s, so he'll get to name his price if it comes back a gem mint. So good luck, man. And then sticking with basketball, he's sending in the Steph Curry Thunder Lane Green Prism. Really interesting card, honestly, population-wise. This card has 22 PSA 10s and only 4 PSA 9s with no other lower grade. So the odds are in your favor on this one. Next is this sweet Paul Pierce Auto out of Obsidian. It's a Volcanic Signatures Orange Flood, and this one's a little bit interesting. I think all of the other Orange Floods are numbered to 99, but Paul Pierce and maybe a couple other players only signed 49 of them. So this one's out of 49. Really cool card though, really clean. Hope it comes back with a 10. And then Patrick's only football card for this submission is a Mahomes 2020 Mosaic Reactive Blue. Raw copies do about 17 bucks. A 10 recently did 45. Interestingly enough, though, a 9 also did 34, so really not a lot of downside on this one. It was an easy choice to submit this card. I do think you can get a 10, though. This next one's really interesting, and just a reminder that players can go nuclear value-wise. So make sure to check your binders, your dollar boxes, your complete sets for Ohtani inserts. This 1986 Topps Baseball Ohtani card sells raw for about 5 bucks. But in a PSA 10, it's selling for about $100 right now, which is honestly just insane. 20 times the raw price for a PSA 10. Doesn't make sense to me, but hey, whatever. Otani's very collectible right now. And I do think this one can get a 10. But even in a 9, I think he'll probably be able to sell it for 25 or 30 bucks. So again, an easy choice to submit this card. This next card is the only Bowman draft card that this submission will have. It's a Detroit Tiger. Patrick's a big Detroit fan. This is Ty Madden's first Bowman auto on the True Gold Refractor out of 50. But this card is actually really clean, and I do think it can get a 10, so I hope that it does. To the right collector, I mean, I think it's a $100 card, and I don't know what Patrick paid for it, but he would do okay if it came back as a 10. Everybody loves a True Gold. Lastly, I've got one more really awesome card to show you, but first, thanks so much for sticking around this long, and I hope you enjoyed the pre-submission video. We'll be back with the results in just a few months' time. Let us know your grade guesses on your favorite cards in the comments. We're really interested to see if you guys think we're way off on sending some of these. Anyways, the last card Patrick sent is this really cool 2003 Topps Tribute Contemporary Barry Bonds and Hank Aaron 600 Home Run Club with dual relics. This card is not numbered, but it must have been a really low print run. There's never been a PSA 10, there's never been a PSA 9. There are 3 PSA 8s out there. And I think Patrick's copy is super clean. I think it can get that 9. And I mean, I don't know. Maybe it has the shot at the 10. I would be shocked if they give a card this old a 10, but it is really clean. So good luck, buddy. I'm going to say this is like a $110 card raw. If it comes back in a 9 or a 10, I mean, I think he's doing really well in it. But thank you so much for watching. Check back in a few months with the results, and we'll see you next time.